Hi all, my name's Trish Roberts and you're listening to Live Vegan. This is podcast number 9. I'd like to share this twit longer on Twitter by Vincent J. Gahane from animalemancipation.com about veganism and arguments that address it from a health and environmental standpoint. He writes, "What I think needs to be clarified in arguments that address veganism from a health and environment standpoint is that 1. The ecosystem is the place where many other animals live, and when we do harm to the ecosystem, we're doing harm to those animals, and 2. Human beings, as animals, have an interest in long, healthy lives that includes a diet that is well suited to that. Just to add to the health and environmental question, I think the other thing that is often neglected is human poverty and how animal agriculture influences this. Today I think, quote, health and environmental arguments, end quote, often mobilized by animal welfare advocates, lack clarity and moral focus. That is, I think we can practice veganism as a general non-violence towards other animals directly by respecting their right not to be used as property, in brackets, and the interests that that right protects, end brackets, towards lives in the environment and towards ourselves, in brackets, since non-veganism tends to be bad for our health, end brackets, as well as towards other human beings, in brackets, since non-veganism tends to impoverish the rest of the world, and certainly human chattel slavery is still a very serious issue, end brackets. It's my view that the only sustainable reason to be vegan is out of moral concern for other animals. So I'm very wary of an anthropocentrism that promotes veganism as something good for human beings and our needs in ways that de-emphasizes non-human animals as rights holders like us. I'm equally wary of an anthropocentrism that promotes veganism as something that we do purely for domesticated non-human animals, in brackets, particularly when this is phrased as an act of charity or martyrdom on our part, rather than as something we owe other animals, end brackets. Further, if veganism shorthands an active practice of non-violence in our daily choices towards other animals, in brackets, insofar as it's possible and practical to be non-violent, end brackets, it's my view that that should include other animals, whether they live, in brackets, quote, domesticated, end quote, or, quote, free living, end quote, end brackets, whatever their species, brackets, human or non, end brackets. I think veganism and the abolitionist position call us to fairly narrow duties, brackets, that is, very specific things we should really do, for example, avoiding the use of other animals for food, clothing, entertainment, and other purposes, as well as conducting work that is in accord with the 6 principles, end brackets. But veganism and an abolitionist position also calls us to wider duties that include education if we can do it, shelter and adoption if we can do it, economic alternatives, brackets, buying co-ops, end brackets, and so on, if we can do it, human rights work if we can do it, and so on. Within that framework, I think concerns about health, environment, and poverty, in brackets, but not just poverty, end brackets, attending to veganism and abolition call us to wider duties, brackets, actions we ought or ought not to take with respect to other animals if we reasonably can, end brackets, to avoiding harm either towards ourselves, other human beings, and the environment. Even if I would not advance veganism on the benefits to human health or, quote, the environment, end quote, in brackets, as a kind of abstraction, end brackets, I would certainly suggest that veganism is a kind of non-violence that we owe ourselves and other animals, and that this draws us to questions of health, the environment, and poverty, in brackets, although not just poverty, end brackets. Thanks for listening. If you have not already visited Vincent J. Gahane's blog, it's weotheranimals.blogspot.com. You can also join in the discussion about abolition at Vincent J. Gahane's and Joe Shelbois' forum, animalemancipation.com/forum. Come visit us on Live Vegan on Facebook, facebook.com/livevegan for all things abolitionist vegan. For more information on the abolitionist approach by Professor Gary L. Francione, go to abolitionistapproach.com. If you're not vegan, go vegan. It's easy, it's better for you, for the planet, and most importantly, it's the morally right thing to do. Till next time, bye for now.